If you're new in town or just new to this whole podcast thing, you're tuning in to Law by Night, the podcast that discusses all things vampiric with no fear of breaching the Masquerade. In this episode, we are going to go through everything you need to know in order to create your own Kinfolk in Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition, or W20 as the Cubs call it these days. Before we properly sink our teeth into tonight's episode, I wish to tell you what you need in order to follow along with me to make your first Kinfolk in WTA 20. First and foremost, you'll need a copy of the WTA 20th Anniversary Edition core book, either as a physical or PDF copy if you are a weirdo or allergic to books or something. If you're playing the game old school with the archaic devices known as pen and paper, you may have a friend or two who was willing to lend you their copy, but as more and more kin are seeking the likes of Discord and Roll20 to play, it is highly unlikely someone will just lend you a book from afar. The easiest place to buy a physical or digital copy of WTA 20 and other supplement books is by going to drive-through-rpg.com. When creating playable kinfolk, it is important to understand how each tribe treats their kinfolk and vice versa, for their upbringing and treatment of their Garou family members and masters will affect their outlook on life and the Garou nation they support. That said, I'm going to presume you know a little about WTA 20 in the 20th Anniversary Edition setting and have a basic understanding of some, if not all, the tribe's workings and formations. Perhaps you've heard about the various controversies regarding plagiarized, copied and traced art, poor handling of developers, and the written material stolen from them in 5th edition, all of which you can discover in the description below, but wanted a safer, less scandalous way to rage across the world. I won't go too in-depth for the tribe lore for now. Instead, I'll give a very brief overview of the playable tribes in WTA 20th as defined in the core book. The Black Furies are a tribe of fierce women warriors who defend the wild places and protect their fellow women. It's worth noting that only the males in their tribe are the Krynos spawn, or Metis. The Bone Gnawers possess excellent skills in espionage. Despite their poverty-stricken living conditions, they are considered the most knowledgeable among the Garou tribes. They tend to have a more relaxed approach towards the Garou traditions. The Children of Gaia are known for their moderate views and their efforts to protect and nurture the remaining uncorrupted parts of the world. They're also known to speak up in support of humanity. The Fianna, an ancient Celtic tribe, have a strong desire for revelry and warfare that persists no matter where they find themselves in the world. The Geta Fenris takes pride in their Germanic and Scandinavian roots and is committed to eradicating the worm. They are known for being fierce and aggressive warriors. The Glasswalkers are known for being skilled predators in urban environments. They are unique in that they take the fight against the worm to a corporate world and high-rise buildings. However, some other Garou are not entirely comfortable with their methods and motives. The Red Talons reside in the depths of the wilderness. They have a strict membership policy, only allowing Lupus and some Krynos spawn to join. The Red Talons hold a brief belief that, in order to defeat the worm, humanity must be eradicated. The Shadow Lords are known for their cunning, deceptive, and demeaning natures. They possess an unyielding desire to lead the entire Garou nation. The Silent Striders are constantly on the move as they were exiled from their homeland. Their travels have allowed them to gain knowledge of the physical and spiritual world, and many of them have become well-versed in secrets and others may not know. The Silver Fangs are known as the hereditary leaders of the Garou nation. However, their strict adherence to maintaining pure bloodlines has resulted in breeding and the emergence of a mental illness among their ranks. The Stargazers are a group of ascetics who strive to control their own anger and channel their energy towards fighting the forces of darkness that threaten the world. They roam the land in search of the worm, determined to defeat it and restore balance to the world. The Yuktena, known as older brother to the other pure tribes, are a tribe known for their mystique and enigmatic nature. They've been given the responsible task of safeguarding the resting places of numerous potent beings, which unfortunately also associates them with the taint of these dark entities. Younger brother, more commonly known as the Wendigo, are primarily composed of Native Americans. This tribe is known for being cold, isolated, and protective of their Karens, even against other Garou, particularly the Western tribes. WTA20 also provides the various Fera, the other shape-shifting animals of Gaia, such as the Rokia, Naga, and Anansi, each one with a slightly varied method of character creation, which may be the focus of a future episode or two. Once you have the core book and any other source books you want, you'll need a character sheet. Drive-Thru-RPG doesn't easily provide PDF copies, so you'll have to look elsewhere to find an interactive PDF character sheet. For this episode, I'll be using the mrgom.rocksolidshells.com interactive sheet, but there are others available should you wish to use a different format. It should be noted that you cannot use the older or newer Werewolf sheets when creating your 20th anniversary Kinfolk, for reasons we shall soon explore. With that preparation shenanigans biting the dust, one can now begin to create their WTA 20th Anniversary Edition character. There's no system or dice roll to be made when determining your character's tribe, unless you really want to, of course. Certain tribes also have background restrictions, so converse the core book for each tribe. WTA uses the Storyteller system, which encourages players to become one with their character, to embrace them, as it were. The Garou of the World of Darkness, the universe in which WTA exists, do not become werewolves through the traditional means of bite or full moon, but are chosen by Gaia, the Earth Mother, to protect her, fighting off the forces of the worm. Kinfolk do not have this blessing and curse. Whilst technically Garou, they are mortal, usually human, and will never undergo a natural first change. What sort of person are they in life? What do they do? How do they go about doing it? How much do they know about the Garou Nation? These are just some of the questions that should come to mind when building your character, as it was your life as a human that would determine the stats and concepts. Starting at the top of the page, you should be able to fill most of these out by yourself. Name is obviously your character's name. Your name goes in the player box. This is useful because the storyteller receives a copy of your character sheet upon playing. Chronicle is the name of your ongoing game. Werewolf games traditionally use the Rage Across insert city or country here, but as W5 players play it like V5 but with Garou, chances are you'll end up using the city/country by night or moonlight idea. Concept is your character's notions. For example, you may be a shrewd politician, failed kickboxer, or cringe dubstep DJ. Note that I did not assign the concept of tribes. Breed determines their true nature, whether they are a human or wolf. This guide will assume you are making a human kinfolk. Tribe, which we've already discussed, are a faction of werewolves pledged to the service of a particular totem. A tribe's outlook represents a way of facing the apocalypse. And finally, relation defines your familial connection to whatever member of your family has been a Garou. As for my example character, Hunter Bridgerton was born to a wealthy and powerful family within the financial sector and was bred for success, eventually taking over his family's company at a young age. He rules the mortals beneath him with an iron fist and knows he is beneath his Shadow Lord brethren. This is how things have always been, and soon he would inherit Gaia's duty and join his family, bringing forth his incredible wealth, influence, and shady business practices. Only he would never undergo his change, and this made him bitter. Worse still, it would be his lesser brother, the idiot of the family, who would receive Grandfather Thunder's blessing. Needless to say, the shift in the family dynamic angered him far more than Hunter would like to admit, and being the bank of bro to him and his pack is beginning to wear thin. He may be pushed over the edge to do something rash, to distance himself from his brother and perhaps the rest of his Garou family, or look to alternate means to level the playing field. The last two boxes, nature and demeanor, are very similar in definition, but are very different in how one would use them, for they define you and your character interact with the world. Demeanor is how you choose to present your character to the world, whilst nature is how they truly are. Both nature and demeanor splinter off into many archetypes. Each one provides different ways for players to regain willpower, a finite resource a player may use in a tricky situation. There are lots to choose from within the appendix of the core book, so I'll let you discover those for yourself. Adding this new information to Hunter, we have established that a lot of him fits into the stereotypical Shadow Lord concept, not just with treatment, but how he handles the competition, by being a dirty, backstabbing, dirty son of a bitch, and everyone and anyone who knows him would know this. Conniver fits the demeanor well here. It is also clear that it is part of his being, his nature, dare I say, to be on top, to rule those underneath and around him, especially more so since that his brother has ascended to true Garou status status and not him. Hunter demands respect and will do what he can to get it. The alpha nature fits the bill, I think. As alpha is the nature archetype, he will regain a point of willpower should he achieve control over a group or organization involving other individuals, or when he is able to force a rival to submit to his authority. Now that you've established some lore regarding your character, you should have an idea what sort of person they are when you assign points into your attributes. How do they solve their problems? Fighting, thinking, or talking? How do they naturally interact with the world? The attribute section is made up of 3 categories: physical, mental, and social. Kinfolk are weaker than the Garou, so the amount of points to spend reflects this. Each attribute starts with 1 point, and then you add 6 dots to your primary attribute, 4 dots to your secondary attribute, and 3 dots to your tertiary group. It is clear to me that Hunter is a manipulative character, and his wits are about him. He probably never had the need to fight or protect himself, so I put mental as the primary group, social as the secondary group, and physical as the tertiary group. So let's go through the character sheet. Perception, intelligence, and wits all have 3 points. Charisma has 1 point, and manipulation and appearance have 3 points, and strength, dexterity, and stamina have 2 points. Dice rolls in WTA are usually made up of 1 attribute plus an ability, as there are many ways of demonstrating feats of strength and intelligence, unless you're wanting to deadlift a donkey, for example, as that would be pure strength by my reckoning at least. The abilities are divided up into, from left to right, talents, skills, and knowledges. Similarly to the attributes, abilities are prioritized in primary and secondary and tertiary groups, with no skill getting more than 3 points at this stage. Again, Kinfolk get fewer points to spend on their abilities, for they are not fully fledged Garou at all. The primary ability gets 11 points, the secondary group gets 7 points, and the final group gets 4 points. If you put any point into crafts, performance, or technology, you have to assign a specialty to it, which turns a singular result of 10 into 2. Wowzers! With Hunter, I'll be focusing putting his strengths in dialogue, line, and managing money. Also, I have to address the fact that he knows bits and pieces about the Garou Nation, even if it's through the snippets he has heard from the Shadow Lords themselves. So let's go through these from left to right. Alertness has 2 points, expression also has 2 points, leadership has 3 points, streetwise has 1 point, and subterfuge has 3 points, drive has 1 point, etiquette has 3 points, and so does academics, computer has 1 point, investigation has 2 points, and occult has 1 point. Next is the advantages section, which is where the character creation process truly becomes unique. Kinfolk cannot gain gifts at character creation, they must be bought with EXP, not freebie points. Instead, we will focus on backgrounds, for which you have 5 dots to spend in. Keep in mind that not all Garou backgrounds are accessible to Kinfolk. You can select from allies, contact, mentor, pure breed, and resources. Furthermore, some Kinfolk from specific tribes may have limitations or requirements regarding certain backgrounds that reflect their tribal connections. For more details, refer to the tribal restrictions box on page 381 of the core book. Mr. Moneybags here is getting 5 dots of resources. I have some other ideas planned, but I can add to them later with freebie points. Once you have done that, add 3 dots of willpower to your character sheet. By default, you do not acquire any dots in Gnosis or Renown either. To that end, we have almost finished creating your WTA 20th Anniversary Edition Kinfolk. Now you spent 21 freebie points, 2-1, 6 more than you would do if you were making a Garou. There are some things to keep in mind when spending your freebie points, which are different to how WTA 20 proper would have you distribute your freebie points of a Garou. Attributes cost 5 points per dot, abilities cost 2 points per dot, and backgrounds and willpower cost 1 point per dot. You may also assign merits and flaws to your character, but for simplicity's sake, we will not be exploring those. So, what have I done? Manipulation has been bumped up to 4, and I've added a specialty of lies. Wits has also been increased to 4, and that has a specialty of betrayal. Leadership has also been bumped up to 4, and we have a specialty in command. Expression now has 3 dots, and I've slapped 5 dots in contact, so making really that backstabbing little conniving mastermind that he is. And once you have finished signing your freebie points, you can finally say that you have made your first WTA 20th Anniversary Edition Kinfolk. Hooray! Yes, the book has all that you need to understand the character creation process, but I have found that it sometimes helps to have someone walk through the process rather than nag your storyteller 100 times. To be kept updated, follow the Law by Night Instagram and Blue Sky pages to find out when we upload each episode. You can also find out by subscribing to the YouTube channel and clicking on the little bell, as you'll be immediately notified when the latest episode is live. Until next time, farewell.